And welcome to Out and About, and boy, do we have a great one for you right now. I am physically standing in the planetarium on Youngstown State University, and if you have never seen one of the planetarium shows, you have missed out on one of the wonders of the Mahoning Valley, actually one of the wonders of the universe, because what they do here is truly out of this world. And I am here with Kurt Spivey. How you doing today, Kurt?
Good afternoon.
This is just a tremendous place. Just out of curiosity, about how many shows have you been through in your 20 years?
Well, I've been in planetariums for 20 years. I've been here at YSU for 9. We do public shows every September to May. So, several hundred.
Several hundred. Could be conservative on that too, yeah.
Pretty conservative, yeah.
So let's talk a little bit. This is the actual planetarium. It seats how many?
It seats 145. It's quite a heavily used room here at YSU's campus because we not only have the public shows that we do every Friday and Saturday, 8 o'clock, and then we have a family-friendly show afternoons at 2. We also do school tours through here throughout the year, and this is also a classroom. We teach our introductory astronomy class at YSU in this room 4 times a day, 3 days a week. So wow. There's a lot of time this room's in use.
Do you think that, let's say, in the last 5 years, the public interest in astronomy is probably at its height right now?
It's really increased, especially since the eclipse that we had in 2017. And then we have one that is going to come over the Mahoning Valley. Last time we had about 80% coverage. The next one just west of Youngstown is going to be totality, which means the sun's going to be completely blocked. That's in 2024. So that really, when we had that eclipse party, it was a kickoff to what we had. It ironically, at the exact same time, we were upgrading the video system that we have here at the planetarium at the same time, and it was a perfect storm, basically, to get everybody to come see the planetarium.
And most of these shows are pretty much sold out shows, aren't they?
Well, we usually, our shows are always free and open to the public. We usually do about 100 or so is what we average, between, say, 70 and 100. It varies throughout the year and what the weather's doing, of course, but we always have room for more.
And what about sky watches? Do you ever do anything like that where you go outside of the planetarium?
We have lots of telescopes here at the planetarium. We try to do that, but the light pollution is really bad around campus and downtown, so you can't see a lot here. We do work with our friends at the Mahoning Valley Astronomical Society to put on star parties at a couple of times throughout the year. And of course, with our star ball, we can look at the night sky whenever we want to. And Skywatch is one of our most popular programs, where we just do a live look around the nighttime sky here in the planetarium.
So that's going to, when you sit back in your chairs and you recline, the entire ceiling then becomes the sky.
You got it. And that's what a planetarium was originally designed to do. And we do find it very important that for 90% of our shows, they all include a live star component, because people really like that.
So at night, when I look at the Big Dipper, which is about my extent of being able to, well, no, I do know where the Pleiades is now, because I've been watching that one, yes, I guess, forever. Maybe that's where I'm from. Maybe that's where I originate. And that I'm drawn to that little dipper thing that's in the sky. But now I know it's actually the Pleiades. Right. So how can people, can they just go onto the website, they call down to the planetarium office, and they schedule to come in one of the shows?
If you're doing school tours, that's what we do. We schedule the school tours when they come in, and community tours too. We do senior groups, all sorts of groups throughout. We have a minimum of about 10 to 15 that we like to do on the tour groups, but those can be scheduled at any time throughout the week, basically. Our public shows are always free and open to the public. When we opened in 1967, Ward Beecher wanted us to be a resource for the Mahoning Valley, so we've always been and always will be free and open to the public. Friday and Saturday we choose at 8 p.m. Doors open about 7:30, and it's first come, first served seating. And then Saturdays, our shows are designed for our younger visitors. They're a little more family friendly. That show is at 2 o'clock, and once again, doors open about 1:30, half an hour before showtime.
And about approximately how long is each show?
Around an hour. Some have longer pre-recorded content. Sometimes we do longer with the Star Talk, but we always adjust the Star Talk, so we end up with about an hour-long show.
Okay, do you open it up then if someone has a question about about what they saw so that someone's there to answer it?
Oh, we always do that. Yes, at the end, we're happy to answer any questions you might have.
So do you find where we're at this point in history, in terms of now we're talking about putting bases on the moon and then from there launching to go to Mars and trying to put a colony up there? Do you think this is probably one of the most exciting times in astronomy?
Well, one of the things I love about astronomy is we're never, ever going to know everything. I mean, just a couple of months ago, we had our first image ever of a black hole, an actual image of a black hole. Yeah, and that was a big deal in astronomy. And we try to cover topics like that here too. But yeah, that's what I love about astronomy. There's the history of it. It is the oldest science, but there's always something new as well.
Yeah, when you look out there, they estimate how many, can you even estimate? Because at what point is there an end to the universe, or do we just don't, everybody's got their own opinion on it, I guess.
This is the mind-blowing number I like to use. We know there's somewhere between 100 and 300 billion, with a B, stars in our galaxy.
In the Milky Way galaxy.
In the Milky Way galaxy.
Billion, 103 billion.
100 to 300.
To 300 billion
stars
in our galaxy.
Yes, okay. Thanks to the Hubble Space Telescope, we now know there are more galaxies out there than stars in our galaxy. Think about that for a sec.
I really can't. I can't even comprehend that, because where is the room for? Well, I guess it's infinite.
Yeah,
it just goes on, and man, wouldn't it be something to know that or see that? It's going to take. Yeah. And when we look at I was in Raleigh, North Carolina for business, and they had the NASA station on there, and I got to watch that, and it was absolutely one of the best. I watched it every night. Couldn't wait to get back to my hotel room, because you got to see the view of the planet from the space station.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's my favorite thing to do. When there's nothing else on TV, you turn down to the NASA channel and they have a live feed of the Earth from the International Space Station. Right. I love that. It's great background.
It's like 8 or 10 minutes long, and I can't. At one point, like on the third night, I'm like, I cannot. I've watched this now for 3 days, and I can't get enough of it. But you're seeing it, and the figures were astronomical, because they travel like at 5,000 miles a second or something like that. They orbit the Earth 16 times a day, which means they see 16 sunrises every day, and it's just absolutely mind-blowing when you think about it. And they're there right now, just going around and around us.
Exactly. And we love to work with the NASA folks. In our lobby, we have a screen called View Space. It's from the Space Telescope Science Institute. So if there's something we don't get to cover in the show, it will usually pop up on View Space at some point. Right now, they are running a great feature on that black hole that was just imaged, for example. But we get new content on that almost every week.
And let's get back to the shows a little bit, because I could go on and talk about astronomy. I just find this absolutely fascinating, and we're not even getting to the alien concept yet, so we're not even going to touch upon that. But the concepts of your shows, they vary. You'll have like 3 or 4 different ones a year, and they just keep changing and changing and changing. Like the one that I wish I would have got to see was on the constellation Led Zeppelin. When we look up into the sky and we see the constellation, you didn't even know there was a constellation Led Zeppelin, but there is, because I see it on the poster right there.
We do several entertainment shows throughout the year. We have a tradition here since 1974. We do a Halloween show called Night Lights that has been in some form or another going on here since 1974. Now we do it full video, music. We use the lights and everything. We have a similar show that we do at Christmas called 'Tis the Season, which is the same concept, just Christmas music. That one we got pre-recorded from another planetarium, but is absolutely fantastic. We love running that. And since we got our new system, we have a program in there called Milk Drop. And do you remember back in the 90s, they had that screensaver that would actually move to the music on Windows? It's basically that on the dome, except we have over 3,000 visualizations we can do. And so we get that going to the music, we change it with the music, we use the lights with it. We call that Rock the Dome Weekend. This last year, in 2 days, remember we said we had 145 seats? Yeah. We put 1,700 people through 14 shows in 2 days on that Rock the Dome. Now, those were sold-out shows.
Sort of almost being like a Pink Floyd concert a little bit.
That was the 10 o'clock show.
So you even had that too. In the constellation Pink Floyd, which is adjacent to the constellation Led Zeppelin.
Yes, exactly.
So if you saw a show, and you put on 3 or 4 a year, if you saw, let's say, the first show, you might want to come back to the second show because it is not anything like the first show.
Right. We always try to get new content, so there's always something new to see. We do bring back favorite shows as well. We try to change our shows about once a month. So if you can't get to it the very first week, you have a few more chances you can catch it. So we end up doing about 4 or 5 new ones per year because of the specialty shows between about October and January. We're locked in on those ones. But we try to do our feature show in February. This year, our feature show was called Undiscovered Worlds, and it was all about exoplanets, planets around other stars that we've discovered. 2 years ago, it was called Moons, Worlds of Mystery. You hear about our solar system an awful lot, but this show concentrated on the moons around other worlds, and it was spectacular too. We're right now in the process of figuring out what show we're going to buy for the 2019-2020 season. That will premiere in February as well. We do the same thing with our family content. We have some family favorites. One is called One World, One Sky, Big Bird's Adventure. That thing can draw a crowd on a Tuesday night if you wanted to. That's a very popular show, and we will bring that back a couple of times. But we also try to get new content so parents bringing their kids can see something new and fun on Saturdays as well.
So what you're saying is call and book early so you could have a seat in this 145-seat auditorium.
Like I said, we're free and open to the public, so it is first come, first serve.
So you just show up then?
You got it. We open the door about a half an hour before showtime. It's first come, first serve. If we do sell out a show, we will usually start a little early and then add a show after that. That happens on weekends like the first weekend of October is called Wizarding Weekend, when we do all things Harry Potter. We learn from experience to do twice as many shows.
I'll bring my Ravenclaw cloak with me.
Oh, you're a Ravenclaw as well.
I'm a Ravenclaw, yes I am.
I'm a Ravenclaw.
Had her put me there. It wasn't my choice.
There you go. Yeah, so that's a very popular show. That one sells out. We do add extra shows if things like that do reach capacity. But it is first come, first serve. And like I said, we have 145 seats. We average between 70 and 100, so there's usually room for everybody.
But again, if you've seen one, you have not seen them all.
No.
Everyone is different, so if you've seen one, come on back and see it again. Just leave the jujubes and dots at home because there's no food and drink allowed in the planetarium.
Right. And that's more for my benefit. As the planetarium engineer, I'm the guy that's got to clean all that stuff. Yeah. So, yeah, that's more for my benefit than anything else.
All right, so you're going to want to come down and see some of the shows, if not all of the shows, because, again, they change so rapidly. And it's just a wonder because you're not only being entertained, but you're actually learning things at the same time about what's out there. And we should all know a little bit about what's out there, not just the 9 planets in our solar system. Pluto's still one, by the way. You know? I'm still claiming Pluto. But you're going to have a lot of fun. You're going to learn something. You're going to be downtown at the planetarium right off of Lincoln, and you're going to go then, and you're going to go downtown if you want and get some great food at one of the restaurants. But it is one of the most spectacular things on the Youngstown State University campus that you could actually come in and take a part in. And again, it is just a spectacular show. I don't care which one you see. They're all great. But if you can get in and see the one with the Led Zeppelin
That'll be the end of January.
constellation in there, you're going to want to check that out. You can actually see Jimmy Page up there, right? With the guitar. That's how the stars are outlined with it. All right, Kurt, thank you so very much. All right, so get down to the planetarium. Your kids are going to love it. You're going to love it. Your mom and dad's going to love it. Everybody's going to love it. It's one of the jewels of the Mahoning Valley. You really need to come down. You're going to be so totally entertained with it, and you're going to love every night then going out. You're going to have a whole different perspective when you look up in the sky after you see one of your shows. So we hope to see you soon at the Youngstown Planetarium right here on the Youngstown State University campus. You take, that's one more thing I want to do. Why don't you give us your website so they could go on and see more?
Certainly. We always have a copy of our schedule at wbplanetarium.org. Our printed schedule comes out around the end of August. We try to have it out for the Canfield Fair, and then we have copies available at various places around the valley, so you can pick it up, or you can come right outside our door. We always have copies here too. And if you come to a show, you can sign up for our mailing list, and we'll mail it directly to you.
Right there. Okay, and one more pretty important one. So when the People are coming down. Some of our audience are coming down. Where should they park down on campus?
There's limited street parking now on Wick. We usually recommend parking at the Wick Avenue parking deck. There is a $5 charge for that, but then you can take the walk bridge right across, come right around the Mogg Library, and you're right there. There is some surface parking around as well. With all the condos, it's kind of less than it used to be. If you don't want to pay the $5, you can park down next to MVR and walk up past St. John's. But there is some street parking as well.
Yeah. So there's parking. You have absolutely no excuse now. Get down here and see it. I'm telling you, you will thank me and thank Kurt for all the wonderful work that he and everybody else in this department does for you. So come down and see a show at the Planetarium right here on the YSU campus. You take care. Have a great week. Have a great month. And we're going to see you again real soon with another edition of Out and About. Have a great month.